Hey guys, CommentLurker here, and welcome to Let's Play Mage Guild, the sort of roguelike meets Doodle God. On a previous recording, I did a tutorial, but then Camp Studio decided to corrupt, so I'm not going to do that again. Just don't feel like it. Let's just start off with the game immediately, and we're going to be a Dark Arcane guy. These are the various spell schools. You can choose 2 of them. Elemental is just every single element at once. Cosmic is crazy time-space stuff. Light is heal, good things, do stuff like that. Dark is evil. Arcane is everything else. Teleport, summon. And it seems like Dark is probably the most powerful ability than Arcane, because Dark gives you Drain, which is really, really powerful, especially early on. Here are the various edges. Edges will give you various little advantages. I suppose that might be why they're called edges. I prefer to stick with this one simply because it gives you more MP from the MP restoring thingamajigs. And which Archmage do you want to oversee our test? My knowledge doesn't really matter that much. It seems like whoever we choose, we're going to get the token of. And it also might change the dungeon. Like, I always choose Ath, even though I'm a dark mage, simply for the irony, and it seems like I end up fighting dark type guys, so I don't know if that has something to do with it. But let's go with Ath the Forger. He is the light guy as opposed to the Ancient Shadow dark guy. These are all in the same order as the schools. The Flame is every single element guy. I'm gonna go with Ath. So here we are with our character. Ath nods gravely at you. He steps close and presses a small stone object into your hand. Take this. May it help you safely to my sight again, and may you survive this test you have chosen. His deep voice rumbles. The world dissolves in a flare of pure white. Why do I even know the terrible voice? Oh well. Let's move on. Actually, hooray, we get the first mechanic that I show off to be the energy fountain. There are 2 fountains that I've actually seen in the game, although if you make your own level, there are some pre-made fountains that I have yet to really see in the game. I'll show more of that later. This yellow fountain will heal your MP, because yellow matches yellow, because MP's this color's yellow. There are also the red fountains that will heal your red HP. Sadly, this red thing is not a red potion of life or health or anything like that. Potions of life are white. So you can step on this thing, and you'll restore all of your MP, but it'll use up 1 charge of the fountain. And fountains only have so many charges before they decide to stop existing. It would be kind of cooler if, at least for a cosmetic effect, you could have just a dried out fountain in this instead of just it turns into floor. But it turns into floor, so oh well. If you are only recovering 1 MP, that still takes 1 charge. If you're recovering 99 MP, that takes 1 charge. So sometimes it's better to hold off until you really need it and you have like 0 MP out of whatever before you actually use it. And that's another reason also why you would want to have higher maximum MP so that you get more out of these things. And here's our first enemy, the cheerleader, with her blue pom-pom. She is actually a naiad, and she likes to slap us. So let's fight her, slapping back. So we hit her with melee, and she hits us because, of course, we're a mage, so that's the kind of fighting we take part in. And let's pick up this Potion of Dissolution. This game has 2 main halves of the fighting system: the melee fighting system, where you just walk into somebody, and the actual spell system, where you either press F to cast a generic laser spell that you shoot at random guys. Right here it shows everywhere I could shoot at. Or you could also use the various spells you can learn. Here I'm putting up all these spells that we can learn, not all the spells we have learned. In fact, if it was a list of spells we have learned, it would be empty. We do not know any spells yet. Now we do know a spell. I learned Drain. Various spells take various amounts of spell points, and we put our 1 spell point into Drain, the best early game spell in my opinion. It only costs 1 MP and will heal you, which is especially useful because these fountains, the red kind that heal your HP, they're almost never there. So if you want to heal HP, you have to use either the potions or, well, I guess that's really your only option. You'll die if you don't. But Drain will turn these yellow fountains into everything fountains. Just drain a guy, and then when you don't have MP, go back to one of them, and you'll have full HP and MP. Hooray. So here's a potion of inversion. I could show off some of the potion system in this game, where the real Doodle God stuff is. We also have a Mystic Mirror, by the way, a very useful item. I think we get that for starting out Arcane. I'm not sure. We also always have a Mage Staff, which you can use for various things. So, we also started the potion of Death and Absorption, probably because we are a Dark guy. Guys probably start with those two items. Either that or we picked them up and I didn't realize. Well, the potion system is kind of a Doodle Godish thing, as I've already said, and I shouldn't be mentioning it a millionth time. You can combine various things to make other various things. For instance, you can combine a dissolution. Well, you combine an inverse potion with something, you get the opposite of that. Everything has a pair for the potions. Not everything. If you combine a potion of inversion with dissolution, you don't get the potion of whatever the opposite of dissolution is. But death, opposite of that's life. Absorption is energy. Life and energy are HP and MP potions, essentially. Death it can be deadly. I would not suggest drinking it, or its more deadly counterpart. Absorption, I think it has to do with actually taking HP out of things. I don't know if you throw it at enemies or you drink them, because I generally don't use them for that. Potions like Absorption can be used for various other things. For instance, if I had a... I'll show you guys a little bit later when I run into it. Right now, let's have some action. Open that door, and here's a mist. Mists are fun because they divide randomly, and then when they're done dividing, they engulf each other for no particular reason. Here we are. It says the mist divides. The mist engulfs the mist. Mists will actually eat enemies, and they'll also multiply. And that combination happens to lead to silly side effects when they are next to each other and end up eating each other. So in order to save our MP, instead of using 2 MP for every attack, we're going to use Drain. The problem with Drain is it has a smaller range, so you have to be next to enemies to use it, but that's not such a terrible downside, considering that you're being healed while the enemy's hitting you. Here's an enemy that we're going to be fighting pretty soon. So let's see if we can see what it is. Oh, there's a potion of, we know it is Absorption, because if it was Death, it would be slightly fatter. That is Absorption. Absorption is gray. So is Death. And here is our Floating Eye friend. Unlike in other games, the Floating Eye has a lot of range. So if we just stood here for a while, eventually, as you might have seen for a split second, he immobilized us. So long as you are within casting range, meaning you're horizontal, vertical, diagonal from him, he is capable of doing so. But he also does not pose very much of a threat. So we'll just kill him off right there. And here's another cheerleader with her pom-poms. I didn't show this off earlier, but cheerleaders, in fact... Ooh, we just killed her without being able to do anything. Cheerleaders, in fact, can summon water under you, making you soaked. I don't know what soaked does, but it makes you soaked when they do that. Here are wolves. Wolves are very easy to kill. And they also drop a lot of corpses because they generally come in armies. Another good thing about wolves is you can kill some of them with melee, and then you have a guaranteed way of source of draining your HP back. See how I didn't have to use very much MP now because all the HP that I lost in combat came back to me, and I ended up no worse for their wear for using melee instead of MP. Save a little bit of MP. Here is a corpse, a hair of a wolf. Most enemies, to my knowledge, can drop corpses, and corpses can be used for various things. The various things can range from transforming into said enemy, summoning a version of that enemy to be your friend or enemy randomly, summoning an undead version of that to be your friend or enemy, absorbing a special power from it, etc., etc., depending on what you fuse it with. The game maker tried to make everything work with everything in a logical fashion, so we'll see a little bit more about that later. I don't even know everything you could do with everything, so we might actually discover new things, as I did in that failed recording because something decided to corrupt. But I know how to deal with that now. I lied to myself. Here's a zombie. We do not want to drain the zombie, because zombies cannot be drained. Why am I even letting him go near me? Just shoot him with fire. Technically, it's not fire. And here we get 2 of my favorite enemy in the entire game, the Black Moat. This enemy will... Oh, and we also get a red fountain. I'll just interrupt myself. The Black Moat will actually suck you in, pulling you towards him. It'll also pull enemies towards him. It'll also pull items towards them. But, very annoying, it will also pull you towards them. And, let's see, I'll just kill it immediately. Here we got soaked from the stupid cheerleader. Let's kill the cheerleader. Okay, they're actually posing somewhat of a threat, so let's actually take them down. Okay, we have a floating eye that's not threatening at all, so we can sap HP out of him. Yeah, I think if we stand here, we can kill a miss without actually getting in any serious danger. What else was I gonna say? Oh yes, black motes are especially dangerous when it comes to lava in between you and them. They pull you into the lava and you die. It's not very fun. See if I can get... Nope, I'm just going to kill the mist. And here we just got a level sphere. I picked it up very quickly. It is a special item. In fact, it is a required item. On every floor, that is what you're looking for. Not just the staircase. In fact, we found the staircase downstairs downstairs earlier. I just didn't mention it for some strange reason. Whenever you pick that up, it's essentially a level up. The level sphere. It will give you one more spell point to put into various things, and it will also allow you to go to the next floor. Killing enemies does not level you up, so in that way it might be better to try to avoid enemy encounters and just survive off the fountains until you can get the level sphere and then leave. But then again, of course, you also want to get lots of items. It can be used for various things, including permanent improvements to your character. Here's an imp. Imps can shoot back at you. That's very annoying of them, but it's not particularly dangerous. Just kill him there. And we got his pointed tail. I think that you can make a potion of teleportation with that, but I'm not going to bother with it. Waste of other things that I don't want to put into that. What was I going to say? Actually, I probably want to be around here. Oh yes, the items. Sometimes enemies will drop items, and you may want to pick up said items because they can be useful for making permanent improvements to your character. You can also just run around and find items. Like right now, we just found a potion of change up here. I could tell by the shape that is a potion of change. And here's a potion of duplication, a very rare and very useful potion indeed. It can be used to duplicate things. Most potions that you combine it with will, in fact, become two of said potion. Meaning, if you combine a potion of duplication, you end up with a potion duplication, a potion duplication. Actually, you can't combine two of the same thing, sadly. But if you could, you would be able to do that. But if you combine a potion duplication with dissolution, you end up with a random potion. If you combine a potion of change with a potion dissolution, you end up with a random potion. Dissolution is supposed to be dissolve. That's a very interesting spell. It's a very interesting potion in that it will essentially turn something into its constituent parts, even if it doesn't really totally make sense. I shouldn't say that, because it does make sense. If you combine a potion of inversion with a potion of life, you end up with the opposite of life, death. If you combine a potion of dissolution with death, then you get those two constituent parts, life and inversion, back out. But if you have use a potion of inversion on death, you get a potion of life. So you can end up, you have infinite dissolution potions, combining that back and forth between death and life and getting infinite inversion potions. You can also combine opposite potions to make inversion potions. Change and permanence are also, by the way, opposites. We didn't run into them until recently. Permanence can be very useful in making particular potions, like I combined the potion of life with the potion of permanence to make a potion of permanent gain life. But I'm not going to bother with that because I want to save that permanence potion for a potion of energy. So we get to run into one of those. I mean, we can make one with a potion of inversion and absorption, but I want to save the potion of inversion. Yeah, let's just move on, I suppose. No need to stay. Explain the Mystic Mirror later. And here is a token. Token of Nuz. A very rare item, indeed. And here is green grass. Right? No, it is acid. That is an acid pit of acid. Oh, I should have used the fountain while we were still upstairs, simply because there's no way to go back, by the way. There is no way to go back on to previous floors, ever. And here is a crystal ball, very useful for making various things. But it is beyond our reach. Well, actually, we can step. These are various types of terrain. I have to explain. Terrain appears on the map as this green stuff. And terrain can range from anywhere to slowing you down, hurting you a lot, or doing nothing. So, yeah. What was I going to say? Yeah, holes hurt you a little bit. Very, very little. Tar, this is what this stuff is. That'll slow you down. Acid will hurt you a lot, but not nearly as much as fire. Of course, you can get fire resistance. Or lava. Lava is fire resistance. There's no such thing.